When asked to name his toughest opponent, Zinedine Zidane didn't hesitate. He named exactly one player. Xavi rated this same player as the best central midfielder of the last 2 decades. Thierry Henry declared him, without a doubt, the greatest player in the Premiership. And Socrates, the legendary Brazilian captain, said this English midfielder was the only one good enough to play for Brazil. They were all talking about Paul Scholes, a player who stood 5'6", suffered from asthma, and had to manage a lingering knee condition called Osgood-Schlatter disease. In a sport that demands peak athletic power, a quiet, diminutive midfielder with severe physical limitations became the ultimate idol to football's greatest legends. Modern football is an industry built on global superstardom. It runs on mega endorsements, carefully curated personal brands, and a relentless paparazzi machine. But as his captain Roy Keane bluntly pointed out, Scholes completely rejected the, quote, celebrity bullshit side of the sport. Asked to describe his ideal day, Scholes kept it incredibly simple. Train in the morning, pick up the kids from school, have tea, and watch TV. He was a ghost off the pitch. He did his job, went home, and shunned every invitation to build a public persona, making his status as the footballer's footballer a total anomaly. Scholes himself readily admitted he didn't have the pace to outrun opponents or the dribbling skills to take on defenders one-on-one. To compensate, he evolved. While he started his career as a forward playing high up the pitch and scoring goals, he eventually pulled back into a deep-lying pivot role in the center of the midfield. From there, he dictated the entire tempo of the match. His teammates nicknamed him Sat-Nav, short for satellite navigation, because he possessed an incredible spatial awareness that allowed him to drop 50-yard passes perfectly at their feet. He couldn't physically overpower the opposition, so he dismantled them cognitively. He mapped the field, read the movements, and processed the game faster than anyone else could run. But that tactical genius came with a notoriously rough edge. Over his career, Scholes racked up 97 Premier League yellow cards. Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger publicly criticized his tackling, stating Scholes had a darker, malicious side and was not always a fair player. Scholes didn't entirely deny it. He justified the tackles as a calculated form of retaliation, admitting that if an opponent hit him early in a game, he made sure to get them back. Yet that aggression was inextricably linked to his success. He drove Manchester United to 11 Premier League titles, establishing a volume of winning that very few players in history will ever match. His impact was so irreplaceable that when United faced a severe midfield injury crisis in 2012, Sir Alex Ferguson actually begged Scholes to return from retirement to stabilize the team. The reckless tackles and the yellow cards were the friction of a fiercely uncompromising edge. It was the exact same edge that made him the indispensable engine of United's golden era. In August 2004, at 29 years old and at the absolute peak of his playing powers, Scholes shocked the country by retiring from the England national team. His reasoning was characteristically blunt. He stated that his family life and his club career were simply more important to him than chasing international glory. Even after his playing days ended entirely, he dodged the global limelight. He chose instead to invest his time in local grassroots football, taking part ownership of Salford City and briefly managing Oldham Athletic. And in October 2025, he stepped away from a highly lucrative television punditry career. He needed to be home to maintain a strict daily routine for his 20-year-old autistic son. Paul Scholes proved that reaching the absolute pinnacle of a sport does not require an ego, a carefully managed brand, or an obsession with fame. It simply requires a complete mastery of your craft and the quiet wisdom to know what actually matters when the final whistle blows.